Mass anti-government protests continued for a sixth night in Georgia after the country's constitutional court rejected an appeal from the opposition to overturn the result of October's election. Police fired water cannon at demonstrators who are angry about the government being too authoritarian and its announcement that it plans to delay its talks to join the EU. Well, I spoke to Georgian Dream, director of the human rights group Social Justice Centre.
First thing we have to mention about these protests is that these protests are not politically driven. I would say this is grassroots protests organized by people itself. That's why it's not easy for the government, for the police office, police institutions to deal with this kind of protest, because self-organization is quite strong in that regard, and it's not easy to presume or deal with this kind of protests and events effectively. What we've seen is that government systematically manipulated elections, and we can say that these elections, parliamentary elections of October 26, was systematically rigged. And then, as a follow-up events, government proceeded the authoritarian tendencies, and they openly declared, as you mentioned, that EU integration process will be delayed until 2028. So this is, of course, democratic backsliding of Georgia. And also it refers to the security of the state, because without proper integration partnership with Western partners, Georgia's security is also under serious threats, because Russia's influence is extensively increasing in Georgia on political level, on economic, and etc.
The government clearly rejects those assertions. Are these protests going to achieve anything?
It's not easy to say it at this point, but what we can say is that now Georgia is in a systematic crisis. It's not only political crisis, but there is a crisis on so many levels, on media, on societal level, etc., on economical crisis, etc. So it will not be easy for government to drive this kind of situation effectively, to deal with this kind of extensive multi-layered crisis. And even if these protests will be shut down by the extensive use of police forces, I'm skeptical that this will be the finish, or this will deal all the problems. Now Georgia is in the spiral of the crisis, and even the slightest mistakes from the government could result in unexpected events, unexpected protests, etc.